Hey now, cats, we're back again this week in the Balls from Ellwood show, and what a busy week we've had.
Whew.
It has been
Insanity.
Thank you. See, it's so crazy. And as you may notice, I have my sidekick with me back this week.
Hello.
Thanks
I escaped the wolves. Is that what the story was?
Yeah, she went out last week to take a shit. The wolves ate her. I was able to, battle them all off. And lo and behold, Xtina is back again this week. And as you know, she'll be bringing you some more depravity later. But we have had an incredibly chaotic, hectic, insane week. And I'm just going to start right off. Xtina, can you help me out?
Well, as you may know, you may have seen her. She's made a few appearances on here. We have a Sphinx cat, which are those, hairless cats. And not only are they just hairless cats, they're like a dog, essentially. When you can't really have a dog, but you want a dog, so you get a Sphinx cat. But I tell you what, this little girl is like she's only a year old, a little over a year, and we haven't even had her a year yet. And she's like our world. And come home the other night, she has something sticking out her butt. And we're like, what the heck is it?
In retrospect, it's funny now, but when it's happening to you, it's the most scary thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. It's a cord from, the blinds. I have a couple cordless blinds, and they're amazing. Got to get more of those, apparently, because somebody likes to eat these things. Come home to my bedroom cords, we pull the blind up, and they're, half missing. And guess who ate them? Old Izzy. And so I was just going to kind of give her a nice warm bath and kind of gently pull it out of there. But Balls is like, oh no, this could be tangled up in her intestines and yada yada. So we call all these vets that are local. It's late. It's 7:30. Everybody's closing or closed. And they're like, the only vet emergency wise is an hour and a half this way or an hour that way. And so we go to Pittsburgh to this American something ASVPC AVP whatever. Everybody's like, you gotta go to the AVPCS or AC whatever the hell it is. And I'm like, what? And so we get there and there's a sign out there that says a 12-hour wait. We're like,
be patient.
Yeah, is this this is an emergency vet. They're putting dogs on stretchers, this level emergency. And here we are, trying to save our cat. And they're like, yeah, we'll see you in a bit. We sat in the car. You're not allowed in either. They're still in whole
COVID mode.
Holy full COVID mode. And we're waiting for an hour. And then they finally take her. And then we sat there for another
6 hours?
Another 3, 4 on top of that. And then they call you every now and then to say, here's what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And of course, they're like, oh, we got these x-rays, it's all twisted up in there, she needs immediate emergency surgery. To which we're like, okay, let's do it, whatever. Yeah, well, it's going to be anywhere between $4,500 and
to $6,000.
Yeah, $6,500, I think, even they said. And I'm like, okay, well, can you take a deposit? Yeah, it'd be the $4,500. But that's not a deposit. Well, yeah, it is a deposit because that's on the low end of what this potentially is going to cost. We have to have that amount right now.
So long story short, I don't believe that these people give two fucks about animals, whether they live or die.
No.
They more or less found out that we couldn't get the money. They had this lame-ass card that you could apply for that neither one of us would qualify for. And we're working people.
Yeah.
And we have a house. We have plenty of collateral, and now we still would not get approved. So once they found out that we couldn't pay the down payment of $4,500, they more or less told us, fuck you, we don't care if your cat lives or dies. So they pretty much told us to fuck off. So
but
not only that, their staff, their service was the worst. Absolutely awful.
They need more people there.
They're understaffed, but that's not that's not an excuse.
And then when the doctor would call us, she'd be hee, well, it's very busy here. Ha ha, we're just
Yeah, when you're in a life-threatening situation,
I don't want to hear
somebody that it's not a cat to us.
Yeah.
I look at this cat as our kid. And I take it very seriously. It's not a laughing, funny, jokey matter to me when it's life-threatening and we don't know if our cat's going to live or die. So,
Yeah. And she's only a year, folks. So it's not like, and it's not like she was, hit by a car or had cancer or like, the odds are very slim. This was like a seemingly
freak
routine
accident.
procedure that probably happens way more often than not. And, we know that her life can be saved and should still have a great quality of life. So to us, it's
Exactly.
like way worth it. And we're idiots and we're like, oh, we'll do it. Well, thank God we didn't.
Well, the best part about it is they didn't even realize half the time that we were out there.
Yeah,
They didn't even know. They didn't know we
Like,
were out there the
are
whole
you
night. We
here?
got there right after work and was there. We didn't even get home till like almost 3 in the morning.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And they didn't even. They would call and they didn't even know we were out there.
Yeah.
Even though they have our cat,
Yeah.
and we've told them several times we're going to be here out here.
Yeah.
Nobody had a clue.
And then they're like, oh, and then you'd call back and they'd put you on hold. And then it would hang up on you. Then you'd call back and they'd say, oh, okay, well, we're discharging her now. Another 45 minutes goes by.
So
where's my fucking cat? Give her to me now.
I don't want to dwell on this story. I don't want to, but I would never. I wouldn't even take a ladybug there.
Right. Please
That's
don't.
the moral of the story. Do not go Camp Horn Road. Horrible.
Ugh.
Negative 20 stars. They don't care about animals at all. They care about this. So
Yep.
that's my opinion.
Amen.
That's our opinion. It's never going to change my mind. So, but the good part was, I mean, we are very, very blessed. Balls is a generally negative dude, and I have to say, this past 24 hours has been a humongous, eye opener to me and a learning experience. And I personally want to thank everybody that came and aided us in our time of need, because we could not,
in our panic
mentally
state,
and physically, could not have did it without all of you.
In our panic state, we started a GoFundMe, and I swore, I would never, ever, ever abuse that system. I think it's a wonderful system that's been put in place to help people in need, and it's only to be used in a time of extreme need. And trust me, this was extreme
This was a
need.
time for that.
We basically spent both of our paychecks on this whole thing, and we have bills to pay, and food we need to eat, and a kid to take care of. So it's like, what are we gonna do? So I started a GoFundMe in my panic state, and thank heavens I did. And thank heavens for wonderful people. I have amazing friends.
I could not be more deeply moved and touched with all the support and the love and all the care that has been shown in the past 24 hours. Because without you guys, our little girl wouldn't be alive. So, thank you so much. I know you're not used to seeing Balls this way. This cat, that's my baby. So I mean, I can't thank you enough. Thank you to everybody that's helped, shared, everything. I from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough. So,
Amen. And the good news is our local vet, our good vet, was able to help her. Not even in a surgical way. It was like a non-invasive type of
it's
procedure.
still a procedure.
It's still a procedure,
quote unquote
but
surgery, but it
they
wasn't.
didn't have to cut her open,
which is the good
essentially.
thing, because then you'd get into fusing intestines and all that. And
Yeah.
we were nervous wreck, and that's
Yeah.
definitely
So-
it. Definitely was a miracle, and I don't need. I mean,
a miracle.
miracle. I'm not afraid to say it. I thank the big man. So
That's right.
might sound weird coming out of a guy named Balls, but I do believe. I do believe. Amen. So, but don't worry, we're not gonna just talk about. I'm not gonna be a pussy all night. So we're gonna talk about some cool shit now, Xtina. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but
Yes.
I did need to take that time. We both did too.
Absolutely.
Thank each and every
that
one
out.
of you. You know who you are. We love you. And I can't thank you more from the bottom of our hearts. So, that being said, let's talk some scary movies. Let's talk some music. Let's talk some depravity. We got some shit to talk about, Xtina. I'm going to go right into it. I watched the other day. I was looking forward to it for the longest time. I was looking forward to Scarlett Johansson in tight black leather. And I have to say, man.
Who isn't?
I mean, yeah, really. I mean, I'm glad you understand. That's why.
I
That's why she's my person. That's why we're married. So
Doesn't offend me at all.
she understands
Chill,
balls.
girls,
She
chill.
don't try to change balls.
Yeah, no.
She just loves balls.
That's right.
She loves balls for balls.
That's right.
So, yeah, that sounds funny to say that.
It does.
But anyway, I have to say, man, went in expecting Black Widow to be among the caliber of all the other Marvel films like Endgame and the Avengers, and I have to say I come out kind of feeling disappointed, man. Like it seemed like a movie that just really tried too hard and it came off kind of feeling that way. I mean, there was definitely some strengths. I went in expecting another high quality, high caliber Marvel movie, and I came out, with
Mediocre
just kind
feelings.
of feeling mediocre feelings, which I expect way more from that franchise. So I don't think it's terrible, but I
David
definitely...
Harbour seemed good. I didn't fully watch it. I kind of...
Even there's some really
wasn't
bad
that-
dialogue issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd heard that it's very emotional, which that is a thing that I think those movies do well.
Yeah.
But in this one, it seemed like it was very forced, and it didn't make me feel anything. It just made me feel like, man, they're really forcing this
Yeah,
emotion,
I
and
get
it's
that.
really, it just doesn't seem like the chemistry is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But I mean, it's not terrible. It's definitely not the worst. But if I'd went and to the theater and we all spent like $50 to see this, I probably would have been having a more scathing review. But
Right.
as for now, I mean, I give it maybe a B minus, C plus when I expected an A plus. So that's my review. Black Widow. Moving on, let's talk about something that me and you both really enjoyed, and we've been really enjoying this the whole time. Let's talk about Fear Street Part 2.
Part two. Better than part one by miles.
Part 1 was even good.
And it was good. It was
Part
good.
Part 2
Part
was
two blows it away.
amazing.
And
I can't believe they got away with half the shit they got away with in
Right.
Part 2. Like, for a mainstream horror film, man, there's some grisly
there's some
shit in
raunch
this,
in
man.
there, some grisly.
I gotta say, man, it reminds me very of the horror films of the 80s where you have, they don't shy away from showing sex and nudity, and they don't pull away from the kills. There's a lot of grisly shit, man.
I mean, there's kids in this. There's kids at camp, young kids, and they're not afraid to kill a kid. That's
there's
for
no
sure.
taboo, man. So I
Yeah.
mean, I have to say that's probably. We're looking forward to watching Part 3. We should probably talk about it on next week's show. But I have to say, it's one of the better things I've been
Yeah.
excited about in a while. And I kind of went in with kind of mediocre expectations.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how, adapted R.L. Stein, a famous kids'
Right.
Goosebumps, did into an adult movie would work. But I have to say, it really, really works.
And what I
So,
really enjoyed was Sadie Sink's performance. She
Oh,
plays
yeah.
Max on
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things, the redheaded girl.
very good.
She's growing up and she is flipping gorgeous.
And she's going to be a hell of an actress.
Yeah, she's
so.
going to be really a big star. So look out for her. But yeah, she did a phenomenal job in this. All the acting was pretty good.
The first
surprisingly
one,
good.
it was kind of
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but again, it's a throwback to that kind of era where the acting was kind of ass. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but this, I can't think of anything bad to say.
Right.
I've been reading reviews on the internet where people either absolutely love it or they're divided and absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I can't see how, if you're a lover of all things like 80s horror, that you could not enjoy this
Yeah,
film.
it's good.
Pretty much
Fun.
a love letter to everything that you loved about horror in the 80s. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you're that kind of person, you love the 80s horror, I can't imagine you would not love these. Check them out, please. That's one of the best things I've seen in a while, believe it or not. I'm surprised as well. But Fear Street 2, and we'll let you know how Fear Street 3 is next week. Got to see today the teaser trailer for the series of Chucky finally dropped. And I have to say, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
It's coming in the second week of October on both Sci-Fi and, I believe, was it USA?
USA or something?
Yeah, it's weird that they're doing on two different networks, but
They're like, it's so good, we need two networks. Okay.
I hope they're
We'll
right.
see.
I hope they're right.
Yeah.
Another thing, I just seen word that there's some good news and some bad news in the Evil Dead universe. I had just seen that Evil Dead Rise, the director, had just said their filming is almost halfway done, which means we're going to see it sometime in early 2022.
Woohoo!
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset that there's a lack of Bruce Campbell, but the storyline to me sounds pretty interesting. It almost sounds like Demons 2, where they're in a high-rise and they're trapped. But I'm willing to give it a chance. So,
Right.
I mean, other than that, though, the bad news in the Evil Dead universe was I was super looking forward to the Evil Dead game for PS5 and 4 and all their platforms. Was supposed to hit this October. Delayed till February of next year. Don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's because of testing or there was bugs or they want to make sure they get it right. But hopefully the wait is worth it. It looks like it's going to be. Other than I know, I'm excited, but nobody's more excited than Xtina for the reboot of Dexter coming up here. And interesting news that a lot of people are scratching their heads over. Jennifer Carpenter is just announced that she's returning to the reboot, and I think that's cool, I guess, but I'm a little,
are these flashbacks?
I'm a little confused on how that was going to work.
Yeah.
I'm still excited about Clancy Brown being the main villain. Super excited that you're going to see Lithgow as the Trinity Killer again. So it's shaping up to be pretty interesting. I've seen some stills.
Yeah.
And he looks terrifying. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping this is going to be the proper ending, the proper send-off that this incredible series deserved before.
Absolutely.
So that's the whole purpose of this. So other than that, I'd like to talk real quick about Cat Bite. My friends Cat Bite got a new album coming out here in the beginning of August. Just dropped the second single, Bad Influence. Pre-order that at Bad Time Records. I know, if you can, I think how many pressings are already sold out. So mosey on over there and try to get one. It's going to be a banger of an album. And we're going to be going this week to see, speaking of, got an incredible interview with the man, the myth, the legend, lead singer, frontman of Electric Six, Dick Valentine. We're going to be going to see them this week. I'm sure next week you're going to see some footage. But I have an incredible interview from them on tour with him. We're going to talk about the upcoming Pittsburgh show. We talked about all kinds of things, and we have some interesting on-location things that you're gonna enjoy too.
Wackiness ensues.
Wackiness ensued. Just stay with it near the end. It gets pretty crazy as expected. But it was also very interesting too. I learned a lot of things that I did not know, and he's just a cool dude. So. Coming, if you head over to Cleopatra Records, you could pre-order Electric Six's new album. I think it's called Streets of Gold, and it's a cover album. There's all kinds of incredible covers.
They do amazing
Rocky
covers.
Erison, Alice Cooper,
and random weird things.
There's things that you never thought would be a good cover, but they do such a good job. I even told him this in the interview. Your covers are so good that now I can't listen to the fucking original anymore because I prefer yours.
Yeah.
That's a testament for a band, I think, man. Because
I think that's a pretty
I can't even think of the other ones now. And I'm like, I'd rather just put this one on. So
yeah.
So you make sure you head over to Cleopatra Records, pre-order that, go to Bad Time Records, pre-order Cat Bite. And the one last thing I have before we get to Depravity is I just want to tell my excitement. Disney Plus I just heard they announced they're having a behind the scenes of the Haunted Mansion and Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. I'm a fan of both of those. I think I can't wait to see that. So I'll tell you more about that once it airs. But she's back, y'all. You know her, you love her. Xtina, would you mind giving us some depravity this week? Since we were, we were deprived of that last week. I need some depravity in my life.
Well, all right.
Could you help me out, please?
I can help you out. So, Reno, Nevada. Out in Reno right now, it's very, very, very hot. I hear temperatures are getting up to 120 degrees. So apparently, it's making people a little crazy. For instance, we have a woman. Her name is Laurel Ike, and she is 42. And this woman, I guess she used to work as a dental assistant, and she needed some money, so she...
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't, right? So she robbed a dentist office. Now, whether it was one, I think it was one she used to work at, and she took over $22,000 worth of cash, checks. I guess she was taking the Twilights or whatever to make you sleepy. People on the internet are chatting and they think that she was maybe performing her own dental surgeries, under the, in the warehouse, when they do the the liver stuff when they transfer your up in New York in a warehouse. I don't know. All that creepy stuff on the black market.
It's been a black market shop for dentistry.
I know, apparently, but that's the rumor. But here's what's weird. So not only did she steal money and steal medicine and this and that, that's bad enough, right? But apparently when she went in there, there was a unconscious patient, and she pulled 13 of their teeth out. 13 teeth.
Were they supposed to come on?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with probably not. So, how pissed would you be if you woke up from your dental surgery and you have no teeth and you found out it was some crazy bitch that she
Like, hey,
stole them?
I'm here for a cleaning. I woke up, I have no fucking teeth left.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And they did say, I guess this patient was unconscious. So I mean,
but still.
But right, well, I mean, it's horrible. But I mean, hey, at least they didn't. I mean, I'm sure they didn't feel it. But regardless, I'm
Well,
sure
they felt it when the shit were
well,
over.
that's right. I mean, that just gives me absolute chills down my spine to even think about. But I mean,
Oh, it makes my mouth hurt.
I know. So I mean, luckily the girl's been arrested.
What does this lady look like? Is she
and
behemoth?
she is quite attractive. I don't want to get you guys, try not to get yourself too excited.
I'll try to keep an erection to me.
We'll put some posts up here, and do with it what you will. If you get lonely or something, might come in
She
handy.
must be hot now.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Might have to give it a run tonight. Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm gonna have to do an extraction of my own.
On that note, yes, you might. You
Hey-o.
might need that. Oh. Anyway, not to woman shame. I'm sure she's lovely. Seems like a lovely gal, huh?
Yeah.
Lovely. Anywho, that's your depravity. We're trying to keep it light and fun around here today.
Wow, that's
Is that
just,
light and fun for you?
That was just what I was looking for. Wow.
And anyway, speaking of wackiness, don't we have an interview with...
We do. We have an interview with the lead singer, frontman Dick Valentine. Stay tuned for that, cats. And we'll be back next week. We'll be covering the show, we'll be covering Fear Street Part 3, and much, much more. And this lady will have more depravity for that ass. So don't miss it. Tune in next week, and we will see you. Peace and love. Peace and love. Hey now, cats, we're back again this week, and on this particular day, I have an incredibly special guest. Anybody that knows balls knows I love Electric Six. I have with me the lead singer and just an incredible hell of a dude, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dick Valentine. How the hell are you, sir?
I'm Dick Valentine. I'm in Electric Six.
Well, actually, let me get right into it, man. I'd like to start off by chatting. Where did you grow up, man? I hear you grew up in Pittsburgh. How did you make it to Detroit?
Oh yeah, I mean, growing up would be in Pittsburgh would be ages 0 through 4 with a little Monroeville in there too.
Oh, nice.
I would say Michigan is probably my home, but I moved around a lot around the Midwest. So I've lived in Pittsburgh, Toledo, Detroit, and Louisville, Kentucky.
Wow, man. What age did you find your passion for music?
Oh, I mean, I got very interested in listening to music and, watching music videos and stuff when I was like 9 or 10 years old. I started playing the drums maybe when I was about 12 or 13. And that's, when I started, thinking I could be in a band as a drummer. And then over time, I'm kind of a late bloomer and everything. I started playing guitar and writing lyrics when I was about 19 or 20.
And did you come from a musical family? Did your parents support your enthusiasm of music?
Not really. My mom played some acoustic guitar and learned Bob Dylan songs and stuff like that. It wasn't a musical. I mean, we had records and stuff, but I don't have any brothers or sisters, and just kind of found my way into it on my own.
What was that one moment? It was the defining moment that music was going to be more than a hobby for you and become your life.
I think money makes that decision for you. And as far as like the band lasting as long as it has, I think in that moment, even like when we were having like hits in the UK and on TV over there, people think your shelf life at that point is about 2 years or something. We just found that we really enjoyed touring, and the way we tour now is so similar to the way we toured back then. So nothing's really changed. We've figured out how to do it, how to keep going, and it's very rare that we turn down a show or a tour. And I think we've kind of put the ball on our own court by doing that. And we're not completely self-sufficient, but we're close to it.
Let me ask you this: what song or band changed how you heard music? Like something that you just heard and it just completely changed everything.
Um, I think, I mean, the one album that did that for me would be Trout Master Club by Captain Beefheart. It was, when I first heard it, I realized that I liked it, and it was so disjointed, and it was just such a weird way to go about writing a rock song, or and I think for me that just showed you can literally do whatever you want on a record or in a song and have it make sense.
I've always wanted to ask you, how did you come up with the name the Electric Six? Did it?
Oh,
Well, we around or?
Yeah, we were initially called the Wild Bunch as a local band in Detroit for 5-6 years, and then when we got our record deal with XL Recordings, they informed us that a trip hop collective in Bristol already had the name the Wild Bunch, and so we had to go in a different direction. And there was about a 2 to 3 month time where we were just throwing every name on the chalkboard, and people were like, "Oh, if that's our name, I'm gonna quit the band. That's stupid." Like going through that over and over and over again. And I don't know who suggested Electric Six, but it was like the first name that nobody would quit if they were in that band. So it was nobody's first, second, third choice. It just didn't rub anyone the wrong way.
How did the band come together?
The band, the original lineup of the band, we all went to high school together, but the only person I knew in high school was our drummer, M. And, he and I kind of started the band in 1996 just as a recording project. One of the first songs we recorded was Gay Bar. And, he wanted, he was the sort of guy that would like go to the bar and play our stuff for everybody and like listen to this band that I'm doing. And, he ran into those other three guys at the bar, and they loved Gay Bar. And they asked if, one of them asked if their band could cover Gay Bar. And we were like, no, you guys be our band. We need guitar players. So,
what do you think you would have been doing had you never been involved in a band or the lifestyle?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I've tried all kinds of different things at the time that we got our record deal, which allowed us to start touring. I was on my way to being like a middle school or high school English teacher. I was getting a teaching certificate. Whether or not that would have worked out, who knows?
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Yep.
I think you made the right decision, though, because then the world wouldn't have your music.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to At the time, I never left North America, so like out of nowhere, I'm in London, on television, So yeah, it was a very easy decision.
Is there anything that you won't write a song about?
Oh, that I won't write a song about. My bad. I don't know. I don't really look to. I don't really have a set agenda when I sit down to write a song. I kind of adhere to the Bono rule. He's like, I think he said once, like, I believe the song is already written, and the less you interfere with it, the better. That's kind of how I approach it.
What's the best gift anybody has ever given you?
Oh man, I would have to go when I was 7 years old. I got a puppy under the Christmas tree. They stuffed the puppy into a box, and like I came downstairs and my dad was like holding the lid down on this box tight. I'm like, what what's going on? And so I opened it up, and a puppy jumped out of the box.
Let me ask you: has your musical influences changed from the time you've been a kid to present day?
I guess. But like the first band I was ever like a super fan of was Duran Duran, and I still love Duran Duran. So I don't know if it's changed that much. I'm the sort of person that does the same thing over and over again, every day. So I've listened to different bands since Duran Duran, but I think that's I don't really think of music as much anymore since I've been immersed in it for the last 17 years.
Can you specifically tell me where you draw inspiration for your lyrics when you are in fact writing a song?
It really just depends on the song. Like I have a new solo album coming out, and there's this is just an example. I have a song called 3 Ferraris Ago, and that was just I was stuck in Fort Lauderdale for a day, and like we missed a connection on a flight on Spirit Airlines, and they couldn't fly us back home for the next, the next night or something. So I was just hanging out in Fort Lauderdale and saw this, this douchebag guy in a Ferrari, and the song just wrote itself.
Can you tell me, do you feel the scene has changed as from when you started to now? Like, is it different from when you performed, say, a long time ago as the present day?
Well, I think a lot of things have changed.
For the better or for the worse?
What's that? I'm sorry?
For the better or for the worse?
I just think they've changed. I don't know. I mean, when we got our first record deal, that was still at the time when, they're basically selling physical copies and with streaming and everything, it's radically different there. One thing I've noticed is when we started, especially in our band and other bands, you would see a lot of the rock and roll debauchery kind of romanticism. Like, people thought that like doing drugs and drinking was like supposed to be part of it. And I think there's just much less of, at least in touring and with venues and stuff, there's no tolerance for that anymore. Like the romance of that is gone. If you're a pack of traveling drunk dipshits, you're not going to make it. You're just not.
You had mentioned streaming. Do you feel that is more of an asset or a detriment in, getting a band's music out there?
Oh, in terms of streaming, I mean, I think it's an asset I do like in a lot of ways within that, the power has gone back to the artist, but also maybe the artist doesn't make as much money off of record sales, quote unquote. You just have to be willing to tour to make money and find ways to get different revenue streams going.
What's the craziest thing that a fan's ever requested you to do?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I mean, we're going to Chicago tonight. I'll give an example there. This might not be the craziest, but we're doing our final song, Dance Commander, and this guy comes up on stage and he literally has like a wad of $100 bills. He must have had like 50 of them, and he has it like positioned in where his crotch is, and he sticks his crotch with the bills, and like we kind of dock, or he forces me to dock on stage with him via these $100 bills, and then he leans over and says, I have some money I need you to deposit in my bank account, not your bank account, his bank account. And he wanted me to do it, and then he got clotheslined by security, and that was it. But in retrospect, that was very strange.
Well, that definitely qualifies. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, and then another one we played in Casper, Wyoming, and this reminded me of security. I mean, these good old boys like came up on stage, and there was a stage security guard, and he wasn't doing anything. Like, he wasn't doing anything to get them off stage, and I was like waving to him, and these guys are like on stage, like jumping on our like guitar pedals and stuff. And so I like tried to push one of the guys off stage. He was much bigger than me. And he just grabs me and throws me to the bass drum. And then I look over to the stage security. He's still not doing anything.
Oh, jeez.
I'm sure we had to pay him at the end of the night. So I was like, why is all this happening right now?
Well, you'd mentioned pay. It actually transitions to my next question for you. Has anybody tried to like ditch paying you or rip you off? And how do you handle that situation after?
No, I mean, with the band, we have contracts, we have an agency, and generally, it's never really happened to us. We've had bounced checks, but that was like legitimate. Like, they just weren't, they weren't trying to rip us off. They just were running. They weren't really keeping their checkbooks up. But I did have a solo show. I mean, when I do my solo acoustic shows, I don't have contracts, and 99% of the time those go well. But we were just talking about this. Like a kid who booked me in Chicago just skipped town, and his buddies passed a bucket around and made sure I got some money. But then it was amazing. Like, that guy, like 2 years later, came and saw me at a show and was like, "Hey man, we're cool, right?" It's like people just, I mean, that happens all the time.
Whenever you met that kid, like, how did you react? Was you salty, or were you over it, or like?
Oh yeah, I'm over it. It's, I mean, you have to have some tolerance for that kind of dipshittery when you're in a band. It's just going to happen. So, I mean, something like that. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It's, one night in in a 17-year run, so it's not that big a deal.
Is there a song that people request that you ever get sick of playing, or the band gets sick of playing?
To be honest, no. I think any song that we've ever done, it's fine with me if we do it night after night. We have had a couple shows where we tried to not do gay bar or high voltage, and every now and then it works. But for the most part, we know that people want to hear those songs.
Does your mind ever wander while you're performing, or say you have something on your mind that day and you're having a shitty day? How do you stay focused in that kind of situation?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I don't know. To be honest, it's rare that something eats away at me like that. But yeah, you just try to get through it. I mean, I've had shows where I'm sick or something like that. You just power through. Yeah, I mean, it's if you have to cancel a show, you do. But for the most part, just try to. There have been shows where I'm totally tuned out and not jumping around or being as animated just because something might be going on. But it usually works. I mean, there's 6 of us in the band, and the odds of all 6 of us having a bad day are pretty slim. So maybe it works out that way.
You had mentioned that there's 6 in the band, of course, and you guys are touring together. How do you keep from getting on each other's nerves all the time when you're going from place to place?
Well, I mean, we've had so many lineup changes, and a lot, in some situations, it's just because people, they are more confrontational than others. I mean, I think we've just learned over the years that you just have to do your best to, not be aggressive or confrontational and make your problems somebody else's problems, and just understand that there's 5, 6 other people out here with you, and they're here too. They have things going on, and it's taken a while to get to that point, but I think everyone in the band kind of understands that we just got to get through every day and not be problematic towards each other.
Is there any bands that you've played with over the years that were complete assholes to you, and how do you deal with that? You don't have to name names, but have you ever worked with any people?
Yeah, of course. Or maybe not complete assholes, but like just more like dipshits. I mean, there's been tons of squadrons of dipshits that we've been out on the road with. You can make fun of them. You can talk behind their back. You can, those are ways of dealing with it. And then, there was one band we had to have one of their members kicked off the tour. We allowed the rest of the band, like you guys aren't the problem, but this guy is. So if you want to stay on the road, you got to kick him out. They did. So
wow, nice.
I mean, it just depends on, you can. We've had bands that like we get along with really well and hang out with them, and then there's bands we do entire 3-week runs with, and we barely talk to them. So it just depends on the situation.
If you yourself can collaborate with one musician, who would it be and why?
Well, right now it would be probably Taylor Swift for the exposure.
Good answer.
Yeah.
What kind of films do you enjoy? Do you like horror? I must feel too, because I mean, I see the cover of Bride of the Devil is very Dawn of the Dead-esque, and the songs are very horror influenced. Do you like horror at all? Because I'm a big horror junkie, as I'm not sure if you know, but most of my show's about horror and music. So,
being honest with you, I'm not. I'm not anti-horror, but I'm definitely not a horror buff. Like anything, I just don't have a lot of time to watch movies as much anymore.
You have a favorite scary movie?
I'm not. I don't really seek them out, but I mean, every now and then I do. Every now and then I appreciate a good horror film. I'm more into a good buddy cop. I like buddy cop movies. Like Lethal Weapon 2. That's my jam.
Oh, nice, yeah. Community. Yeah, he died. That's a shame. He just died, man.
I'm sorry.
We're never gonna have a Lethal Weapon 5 now. Richard Donner just died the other day.
You said that Mel Gibson just died.
No, Richard Donner, the director.
Oh, right. Okay.
His swan song was supposed to be the last. He was going to do one more Lethal Weapon, and then he just ended up passing away. So
that's funny.
It was between that and Goonies too. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I don't mean to burst your horror bubble, but I don't,
Oh, no, I totally get it, man. I mean, it's not for everybody for sure. I just love the cover of that album, and so there's a lot of horror influenced songs that kind of like that one a lot, actually. But what's a surefire way to make Dick Valentine laugh?
Oh, I don't know that there's a surefire way. I spend much of the day laughing, so it's probably pretty easy. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
If they did a biopic about Electric Six, who would you want to play you in the movie?
Oh, let's go with Ron Howard.
Ooh. Describe to me in depth the worst porno you've ever seen.
I don't really watch a lot of them. I mean, I like the titles.
Sometimes,
yeah, it's just more like I just kind of go searching for titles, and then I don't really watch the pornography.
Has being in a band ever been a detriment on relationships in your life, being family, friends, or whatnot? Does it put a strain on you? I mean, some people can handle. Hey, I've talked to people who can handle it, and I've talked to some people it's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of both. I mean, it's been for me personally, having, I toured. We've been together 17 years, and half of that was before kids, half of that was with kids. And when you have kids, it's a game changer. So it's a little rough at times, but I mean, for the most part, I think my personal relationship with my wife sometimes touring helps. I get a little space, but I was home for the first time ever, like for a year and a half during the pandemic, and that was also really good. So.
Well, speaking of that, what do you enjoy doing in your free time? What do you think about when you're alone?
I think about right now we're getting gas. We pulled over to get gas, so I'm thinking about paying for gas. Let me reach into the bag here, and hold on. I'm getting the money for the gas. I've got money for gas now.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I have the money for the gas. I'm gonna take you with me to buy the gas. That can be part of it.
All right, man. Yeah. We have an exclusive here, folks. We're going to get gas with the Electric Six. I think shows could say that on location. I'm doing this. This is amazing.
I think we're on pump 8. Yeah, we're on pump 8. That's been confirmed. So I'm gonna go in.
Dick Valentine is on pump 8, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. You can ask me questions as we go here.
Cool, man. Do you have a good shit your pants story? Have you ever shit your pants while you're, performing or out?
I never actually shit in the pants, but I have had to pause the show to go take a dump twice. That was both times were in the year 2005, so something must have been going on with me then.
What's the most fucked up dream you've ever had, dude?
I don't know. I usually have pleasant dreams.
Wow, that's great. I only dream like twice a year, or I should say, I only remember them, and they're never pleasant. I can't remember having a good dream like ever.
Here we go. I need $60 on pump 8, please, and a receipt.
This is great.
And there he is. He's entering there. Thank you, buddy. Okay, and now we're gonna go pump.
I got a question. You just made me think of, since you're pumping gas here. What kind of snacks do you buy on the road? Like when you run into a Quickie Mart real fast or something? What's your go-to grabbing stuff to take on tour?
My go-to what to take on tour?
Like when you go, if you're stopping to get gas, do you just pick up junk food or snacks or anything?
I've never been a big snacker myself. I kind of just eat 2 meals a day and that's it. And as far as I during the day, if I get hungry, I try to just drink water.
Does a song when you're writing ever fully feel complete to you?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, when you hear a finished product in a song, that's because I felt it was complete.
Okay. Because I talk to some people, and some people tell me that they've never felt like anything's ever complete. But
sucks to be them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I just want to say, man, I know you have a show coming up here on the 22nd at Craft House. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you. How's the tour been going so far, and what can the fans expect to see this time?
it's it's kind of the same old stuff we always did, but there's clearly pent up demand. I mean, we're selling maybe 40% more tickets. It's only been 4 shows in, but a lot of places we go all the time, ticket sales are definitely up. I just think it's
I can solemnly promise you. I can solemnly promise you the 3 people to watch the show will buy tickets. So I got you 3 more people coming to your show. Hello? Hello?
Yeah. We're in the bathroom. We're in the bathroom right now. That was the air dryer.
Oh man! Now I get to hear the Electric Six take a piss.
Well, you're not going to hear mine because I'm hitting the sides of the urinal just so it. Yeah. You're not going to hear much.
Oh man! Seriously?
Well, I mean, it's happening right now. You can't hear it. I like to rim the lip of the urinal. All right, there it is. Okay, go ahead and continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We watched not too long ago your pay-per-view special, which was fucking amazing. I have to tell you. What?
You talking about the live stream?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
There was a mention of working on a new album. How is that coming?
We're really close. We're let me get the door here for this gentleman. Yeah, no problem. We're really close to being done. I say about 90% of the way there, and it's a very poppy album. There's a lot of just really good, honest pop songs on it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Sounds fucking awesome, man. Are you going to be doing anything from that at this show?
No. This is all about just kind of playing greatest hits and just giving people, what we already have. We already have 18 albums out. The new album should be ready towards the end of the year.
I have to say, dude, I love Electric Six covers too. By the way, I like them so much that now once I hear them, I can't listen to the other ones anymore. So I've had your cover of "Eye in the Sky" stuck in my head for months now. Thank
you. So we might be doing that by the time Pittsburgh rolls around.
Oh my god! If you, I will be in that glory. I fucking love that so much. But I just have to say, I don't want to keep you all day, man. I feel like we had a really great interview already. But
oh yeah, it's been good. I appreciate working with my circumstances. This is we're on the road. There's nothing to be done about that.
Oh no, dude. To be honest with you, I love this kind of raw thing, where you are in the road. I think this is fucking awesome. This is the shit I like to hear. In closing, I want to ask you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, man. I'm a humongous fan of Electric Six. Can't wait to see the show. But thanks for chatting with me. But before we go, can you let everybody know how we could keep up with you and the band, and where we could find merch and tickets at and all that stuff?
I mean, sure. I mean, we have the website electric6.com, and then we're on Facebook and Instagram at Electric Six Official, and then my personal page is Destroy the Children on Instagram, and we're on all the relevant socials and stuff, and you can Spotify us, you can Podify us, you can do whatever you want. As long as you come to us, we'll come to you. How about that?
That sounds amazing, man. I just want to thank you so much. Thank you for being my guest. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you. I've been a fan since I actually discovered you. Believe it or not, it was probably many, many years ago in a show. I don't know if you ever seen it, but there was a show called Balls of Steel.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
But they used to have these 2 guys that would come out called the Pain Men, and they would use your song as the theme. And
that's great.
I fell in love with that song, and I seeked you out. And I just started like a sponge, man. Just started getting as much of you guys' stuff, and I've been a fan ever since, man. So this was a big deal to me. I love you guys. Be safe. Have a great time on tour, and I will see you at Craft House.
I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to meeting you.
Peace and love, sir. Peace and love. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Everybody, I said hi, man.
I will do. Okay, bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.